Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Manya the Princeton Review's GRE webinar. Today's session will be about learning vocabulary using etymology and mnemonics. So let's get started. The most important question for the evening is why is vocabulary important in the GRE? The GRE contains three types of questions: sentence equivalence, text completion, and reading comprehension. For sentence equivalence and text completion questions, a good vocabulary is essential. It will help you get the right answer very fast. Having a good vocabulary doesn't hurt reading comprehension either. So if you have a good vocabulary, it will definitely help you score better in GRE. So let's look at some common methods and best practices that you can use to learn a good vocabulary. I see that Praveen is saying that he can't hear anything. I hope no one else has a problem. Right, so let's continue. So common methods to improve your vocabulary. The first one is maintaining a vocab log. A vocab log is nothing but a book where you note down every new word that you come across. So it may be a new word that you saw in the newspaper or something that you read online. Put on the word and note down its meaning. You should also revise the new word that you have learned. Another method is to use flashcards. Flashcards are nothing but a piece of paper on which you note down the word and its meaning. You can carry this around with you, and whenever you get free time, be it on a journey or be it on a short break during work, please pick them up and revise the words that you have learned. You could also add more details to the flashcards and make them interesting. Another method that you can use to learn new words is to use mnemonics. Mnemonics are nothing but memory aids. They help you remember the meaning of the word and make recall faster. For example, if I'm reading the meaning of the word melange, I know that it means a mixture. I will think of a melon and an orange. A melon is a mixture of melon and an orange. So I remember the meaning of the word melange better. But remember, whichever method you use, the three basic R's of vocab building. They are revision. You are building your vocabulary in a short space of time. So you need to revise all the words that you have learned. Just reading them once will not enable recall. The second method is be regular in the way in which you read words. Spend at least 10 to 15 minutes a day building your vocabulary. This can be done by learning new words for 3 days a week. For the remaining 2 days a week, revise the words that you have learned. 2 days you can just take off, enjoy yourself. Another way is to repeatedly use the new words that you have learned. You have a new vocabulary now, a great vocabulary. Show it off. So let's look at the way some of the mnemonics that you can use. Please pay attention because at the end of this, I'll be asking you questions and you're going to type out the answer in your chat window. Let's look at a few mnemonics that you can use. The word diffident means lacking in confidence. You can associate the word with a picture. Remember, a picture is worth 1,000 words. You could also associate the word with something which sounds like its meaning, a pithy saying. difficulty being confident is diffident. So whenever you think of diffident, you will recall difficulty being confident. Another way is to associate or group words that mean the same thing together. For example, the synonyms for diffident are timid, shy, and bashful. So when you're revising these words, group them together and revise them at the same time. So you will remember them as a group of words rather than an individual word. Let's look at another example. Abstruse. Abstruse means difficult to understand. Do you remember all the high school maths concepts? Do you remember how confusing and difficult to understand they were? They were abstruse concepts. You can also associate the pithy saying, I'm absolutely truly confused. That gives you the meaning of abstruse. Synonyms for abstruse include esoteric, enigmatic, and unfathomable. One more example. Abhor. Abhor means to hate intensely. Have you ever cleaned bathrooms? I abhor cleaning bathrooms. They're absolutely horrible. Synonyms for abhor include detest, loathe, and abominate. It's your turn now. What are some of the ways by which you can remember the meanings of words? Yes, Rishi, I will just move back to the previous slide. Abstruse. Abstruse. Okay, we can't be moving back and forth so much, Rishi. I will, at the end of the session, if you have anything, please type it down. I will respond to you. Now, to continue, what are some of the ways by which you can remember the meanings of the words? Please type it in your chat window. Root words. Thank you, Vishalini. We are definitely going to be talking about root words. The different types of mnemonics you can use. The methods that we just spoke about. Yes, Nandini? Can you give me one example that we used? Remember, we've used so many different mnemonics. Yes, related with names. Very good. Thank you, Akshaya. What else? Mnemonics are just memory aids. There are different ways by which you can aid your memory. Can you name some of them? Real life circumstances. Fantastic. Pictures. Thank you, Rishi. Movie characters. Very good. Fantastic. Very nice, Praveen. Vibgyor is a mnemonic. Thank you very much. Let's move on. Let me see if you can help me come up with mnemonics for a few words. Just 3 of them. So give it your best shot. Arduous. Arduous means difficult to accomplish. Can you help me come up with a mnemonic for this? Hard to us? Fantastic, Rishi. Add a H to the hardest. That's a good one, Akshaya. Read it as hard to do for us. Fantastic. Let's try one more. Enervate. The word means lacking in energy or vitality. How can I remember this word? Thank you, Vishalini. That's almost exactly what I have. Your energy is eaten up. Energy ate. One more. Discordant. Discordant means lacking in harmony. Can you think of a mnemonic for it? Harmonics not there? Good. Disco ant, okay? A disco ant which is not able to dance well. A very inharmonious disco dancing ant. That's a good one. Oh, good one, Vishali. Fabulous. So I would associate the word disco with discordant. Loud music, noisy music, not really harmonious. Sort of what along the lines of what Vishalini was saying. Very good. Let's try one more exercise. Let's see how many words you're able to recall. Can you type in the answer for this in your chat window? Fantastic, Vishali's. The answer that I was looking for is abstruse. You could say theoretical physics is arduous, but that means that it is hard to do. Abstruse means hard to understand. Abstruse would be more appropriate here. Enigmatic we would use more for people. What about this one? Discordant. Fantastic. Vishalini is on a roll. So is Pramit. And the last one? Fabulous. A really smart crowd today. A Boris answer. Let's move on to another method that we can use to learn new words. And that is etymology. Etymology means the study of the history of words. This means we can know about the origin of words as well as how they have changed over time, both in form and in meaning. This will really help us recall the meanings of the words faster. Now, how can a GRE student take advantage of etymology? If you know common prefixes and suffixes and the meanings of the common root words, you can know the meaning of more than one word at a time. You can guess at the meaning of words that you're coming across for the first time if you can recognize the common root word. If you know the stories behind words, you remember them better and the recall is also faster. Now, what is a prefix? A prefix is a letter or group of letters placed at the beginning of a word. When these come in front of a word, they may change or add to the meaning of a word. A suffix is a letter or a group of letters placed at the end of a word. Suffixes tell you if a word is a noun or a verb or an adjective. For example, the suffix tion, shun, is a common noun suffix. The suffix fy is a common verb suffix. And you all know ly, the suffix, is used commonly in adverbs. A root word is what is left when there are no prefixes and suffixes. Root words usually come from Latin or Greek, and they have a meaning of their own. Let's look at a common root word, dict. Dict means to say. Knowing the meaning of this one root will help us understand the meanings of all these words. Now, you know dict means to say. When I add the suffix shun to it, it makes the word diction, which refers to, okay, Vishalini and KK, it's okay. I will give you a few seconds more with the picture. Is it clear? If you can maximize your screen, the picture will be clearer. I'm just going to give you a few more seconds for the same. Oh, okay, the words, if I can, I'll just read a few of the words for you. Jurisdiction, indictment, dictionary, indict, dictum, edict, interdict. So we are going to be looking at a few of them. Don't worry. Let's move on. The root word dict plus the suffix shun gives you diction, which means choice of words. So when someone has good diction, they use the words appropriately. Now, if I add the prefix Benny to it, what could Benny mean? I know it comes in another word, benefit. Good, Vishalini, thank you. I know it comes in another word, beneficial. So Benny means something good. So when I add Benny to diction, I get benediction. And it means a good saying, a blessing. The etymology for this word is shown here. It's your turn now. Please type in the answers in the chat window. Malediction. What could the prefix mal mean? Do you know any word that also uses mal? So what could mal mean? Good, bad. So what is malediction? Fantastic. What is malediction then? Speaking ill. Very good. When you speak ill of someone, a curse basically, that is malediction. Predictable. What does the prefix pre mean? So what can predictable mean? Doing what in advance, Rishi? Pre means in advance. Fantastic. So what is predictable or predictable as we know it? Fabulous. To foretell, saying about the future. Very nice. Let's move on to another word. Contradict. What does the prefix contra mean? Oppose. Very good. It is opposite. So contradict means fabulous. When you contradict someone, you're saying opposite, or you're saying opposite of what they're saying. You're disagreeing with them. Verdict. Now, word is another common root. I do know a few words that begin or have the root word. What about verify? What could ver mean? Fantastic. Now, verdict means judgment. Can you guess at the meaning of the root word? So a verdict is a true saying or after the analysis of all the sayings that have been said at a trial. A judgment, as Kirti pointed out. So were means fantastic, Rahul. Were means true or truth. So I can use a root to learn another root. So let's attempt one more word. Veracious. It has the root were. What could it be related to? Being truthful. Fantastic, Akshaya. Not hungry. Thank you very much. Okay. So were is truth. You know, OUS is an adjective suffix. So veracious is being truthful. Fantastic crowd. Oh, did SAS think it was voracious? No, it was veracious. Let's move on to another way to learn words. We are going to look at some interesting stories behind words. The first word I want to tell you about is tantalize. Tantalize comes from Greek mythology when Tantalus was punished by the gods. He was made to stand in water that was knee-deep, and he had tasty fruits hanging above his head. But whenever he tried towards reaching towards the water or the fruits, both kept moving away from him. So, in modern day usage, tantalize means to torment or tease. The next word is bowdlerize. Bowdlerize is a reference to the historical figure Thomas Bowdler. He was an 18th century physician who thought Shakespeare was too sensational. So what he did was remove the objectionable literature, objectionable words and scenes from Shakespeare, and he published the compilation as Family Shakespeare. So though we may be shocked by this in this day and age, what he did actually helped women of that age to read Shakespeare. So modern day usage of bowdlerize means to censor books or even movies. Nemesis is a reference, fantastic sass. It's a reference to the Greek goddess of revenge. She was inescapable. If you did wrong, you would always pay for it. So in modern day usage, nemesis means something that is inescapable as well as an arch enemy. The New Bethlehem Hospital in St. George's Fields, Britain was the first mental institution. The name Bethlehem became corrupted to Bedlam, so the hospital was referred to as Bedlam. Now, this hospital was a scene of uproar and confusion, not only because it was treating mental patients, but also because of the questionable methods and practices that were used there. So in modern day usage, Bedlam means a scene of uproar and confusion. Spartan. Spartan is a reference to the Greek state of Sparta. The young men in Sparta were very proud and wanted of joining their army. The Spartan military was famous for its arduous lifestyle. They had to follow a strict diet and a regimen that called for a lot of physical hardships. They had to give up every luxury that they know of. So in modern day usage, when you call something a Spartan, it means it does not have any luxury. So hostel students know about Spartan rooms, right? Herculean is a reference to Hercules. Hercules was the son of Greek god Zeus. He was an extremely strong person. But Herculean, used as an adjective, is used to refer to his 12 tasks that were assigned to him. The 12 tasks of Hercules were very difficult to do. So in modern day usage, a Herculean task is something that requires a great deal of strength or effort. It's your turn now. Can you type in the answer to this in your chat window? That was quick. Another one, not so easy. Bedlam is the right word. Fantastic. This is a smart bunch. What about this one? Herculean is right. A lot of people have been on diets. Let's move on to the next word. Byzantine is a reference to the ancient Byzantine Empire. This empire stretched over a huge area, and the capital, Constantinople, had a very complex and devious court. Everything was so complex, and to accomplish anything at Constantinople, you had to be extremely devious. So in modern day usage, Byzantine is used to refer to something that is excessively or unnecessarily complicated. Let's move on to Shanghai. In the late 17th century, ships needed men as labor, but not enough men would volunteer as labor to go on journeys that lasted for many years. So men were forcibly abducted, sometimes beaten on the head, sometimes drugged and put on ships. And once on ships, they couldn't escape. So Shanghai is a reference to either China, which was most often the location where the ships went to, or it could refer to the meaning of the word Shanghai in Chinese, which means upon the sea. In modern day usage, to Shanghai, when someone is Shanghaied, they're forced or tricked into doing something that they didn't want to do in the first place. Solecism. Solecism comes from Greek. Ancient Greeks in Athens thought that the language spoken by their people in their colonies, or called Soli, was inferior to the Athenian language. So anyone speaking the same language as the people from Soli were thought to have committed solecism. So in modern day usage, a solecism is a breach of good manners, a faux pas, if you will. Utopia. Utopia comes from Sir Thomas More's book by the same name, Utopia. In the book, he describes a farmland which was almost impossibly perfect in every way. So in modern day usage, an utopia is a reference to some place that is impossibly perfect. Now, let's try a match. Can you type in the word and the meaning pairs? Some of the words we have not come across till now, but do give it a shot. 1D, great. Other ones? I see great attempts. Tantalize, torment 1D, torment or tease, fabulous. 6 is E, chauvinism is fanatical patriotism that comes from the French soldier Nicolas Chauvin, who supported Napoleon even after he lost the war. You did get bowdlerize correct, which is removing offensive words. Fantastic. Chimera is an illusion or a foolish fancy. That is also from Greek mythology. The chimera was reference to a monster. Serendipity is not a rainbow display of colors. Fantastic. Serendipity refers to something that you get by chance. It is a reference to Horace Walpole's book, The Three Princes of Serendip, where the three princes accomplished a lot of things just by chance. Serendip is an old name for Sri Lanka. So serendipity is a reference to the princess coming from Sri Lanka. We still have labyrinth, iridescence, fantastic. Labyrinth is a complicated network of passages. This is also from Greek mythology. Oh, thank you, Vishalini. A good way to remember serendipity. Travel inside a vehicle by chance. Beautiful. We still have iridescence. Okay. Foreheads. Thank you, people. It's a rainbow display of colors because the Greek goddess Isis was a goddess of rainbow. Let's move on. Let's look at another way to remember the meanings of words, called kangaroo words. A kangaroo carries his child Joey in its pouch. In the same way, kangaroo words contain the meanings within themselves. For example, the word adroit. Very good, Vishalini. Adroit means artful, skillful. Remember the Artful Dodger from Oliver Twist? How skillful he was in stealing people's wallets? The word deceased has the meaning dead within itself. Diminutive, diminutive means minute or small. Expurgate. Does anyone know the meaning of expurgate? Fantastic. Purge. It contains the meaning within itself. So purge means to remove something that is objectionable. Same as expurgate. Yes, sir. Let's move on to another word. Facade. Anyone knows the meaning? No. None of the above? Face. Fantastic, Pratma Sharma. Facade refers to the front part of a building. The face, if you will. What about pellucid? Fantastic. Pellucid is a reference to lucid. And lucid means clear. What does plagiarist mean? Fantastic, Akshaya. Plagiarism is a reference when people copy something from somebody else and pass it off as their own. They take credit for something that does not belong to them. So, a plagiarist is basically a liar. So, preeminent. The meaning is in itself eminent, somebody famous. So if you describe someone as preeminent, he is a distinguished person, a leading person. Yes, Katie. Quiescent. What does this mean? Does anyone know? Quiet is the right word. Fantastic. Let's try another one. Surfeited. What does that mean? Or can you tell me the kangaroo word in it? Surfeited definitely means excess. So any guesses on the kangaroo word in it? No, not surf. Fed, fabulous. So when you're overfed with something, you are said to be surfeited with it. Unanimity. What does unanimity mean? Unity, unanimous, fabulous. You found the kangaroo word too. So unity is the kangaroo word inside unanimity. Unanimity means the being united. It's your turn now. Try to find the kangaroo words inside these words. And if you can tell me the meaning also, that will be great. So fabrication. What does fabrication mean? Either the meaning or the kangaroo word. Okay, manufacture is one meaning. What else? If something is a fabrication in common usage. I did see someone, Rahul got the answer. It's a made-up story. If someone fabricates a lie, they're making up stories. So a fabrication is fiction that's being said. Great try, everyone. Let's try one more. Salvage. What does salvage mean? Got the kangaroo word. Save. Now, when someone tries to salvage the reputation, they're trying to save their reputation. Fantastic. Let's try one more. Apposite. What does apposite mean? Matching? Not really. Appropriate or apt. Good, Rahul. That is a great answer. So apposite is a synonym for appropriate or apt. And the last one, rotund. Thank you, Rahul. Rotund means round. Thank you, Kirti. Now, let's see how much you're able to recall of all the words that we have learned. All right? Here goes. Fantastic. The contract was pellucid. It was clear. Let's try one more. Very good, Anish and Vishalini. It's surf beat. Let's try one more. Bavlagai is also correct, but the word I was looking for is expurgated. Thank you. So let's recap. Etymology can be used to learn new words. It will also help you remember the meanings of words. And when you come across new words, your guess will be a smarter guess if you know etymology. Knowing root words will help you learn more than one word at a time. Right. Whatever you choose to do, remember the basic 3 R's of vocab building, which are revision, regularity, and repeated use. Can GFH please turn off your video, please? Thank you very much for joining us today. I would like to know what are the troubles that you have with learning vocabulary? You can type your questions in. Any questions with regard to learning vocabulary? Forgetting the mnemonics? Okay, let's answer questions one by one. So I think Vishalini had, hold on please. All right, I am looking at your questions. Sorry about that. Let's address them one by one. Now, the first one said you're not able to remember the mnemonics that you made up. I would definitely say mnemonics is a fantastic way to remember them, but you need to remember the mnemonics themselves. So one way that will help you is to revise, revise, revise. The aim is not to learn as many words as you can. The goal is not to learn 5,000 words. The goal is to learn as many words as you can and remember them and recall them at the right time. The most generic way to build your vocabulary is to read, read, read. So when you read, you understand the meanings of the word in context. So you can also guess at multiple meanings of the words. So read as much as you can. That is one way. So revision is the basic way that you can remember your mnemonics and any etymology that you do. The second one, somebody said the list of words is never ending. My answer to that is, do not try to learn all the words in the world. That is an impossible task, an unnecessary one too. You don't need to remember all the words. We at Manya Princeton Review have a comprehensive list of words that appear most commonly in the GRE. So give your best shot. Learn and remember as many as you can. It is a relative improvement. The more words you read, the more you're going to improve. The less your improvement is going to be. So don't stress about the number of words that you have left. Remember the words that you have learned better. Okay, someone said in a short time we cannot remember more words. So whatever words you learn, revise them. When I said read more, it will not only help you for your vocabulary, but will also help you in your reading comprehension. So it is a double benefit. So the more you read, it's definitely going to help. Sources other than books. You have a lot of online resources which help you build your vocabulary. So use Google to your advantage. One website that I particularly like is Quizlet.com. They also give you mnemonics for the words that you need. Please Google Quizlet Princeton Review GRE words with pictures. So Quizlet is a crowdsourced. Thank you, Pramit. Quizlet is a crowdsourced resource. So please take it with a pinch of salt. Look up the dictionary for the exact meaning, but I do like them for some of the mnemonics. They also have pictures for the words that will help you remember better. Thank you, Vishalati. Mnemonic Dictionary is a fantastic resource where you can type in the meaning, type in the word, and it will give you a mnemonic for it. Thank you, Vishalini. Okay, Vasudev. 2 months is sufficient. Depends on a lot of things. Depends on how much time and effort you're willing to put in at a time. Depends on, is the audio a problem for anyone else? Okay, thank you. Okay, the 2 months, not only the time that you are willing to put in, also where you are now. So I can't give you a standard response to say if 2 months is enough, but I can definitely tell you If you ask me, the best process to prepare is to join Mania, the Princeton Review, and that is an honest recommendation. Another way that you can make learning new words fun is to team up with people who are also writing the same test. So join friends who are doing or planning to do the GRE and learn new words with them. So another question was, how much time will it take to learn words? That is also another question that I cannot give a standard response for everyone, but I strongly recommend that you have a regular process. So spend at least 15 to 20 minutes every day on words. That is a bare minimum amount of time that you will spend. So maybe 3 days a week, learn new words and meanings. The remaining 2 days of a week, you will revise the words. Revising does not mean you will just look at the meanings of the words again. You will remember the word with another strategy. If in the first round you directly read the meaning of the word, the second round, think of a mnemonic and associate it with the word. The third time, use some other method, like using the word in a sentence. The fourth time of revision, if you have the time for it, combine words or synonyms. So do not use the same method again and again to revise the word. Thank you, Vasudev. Even if you read 3,000 words, there will always be new words in the world. It is impossible for anyone to know all the words in the world, correct? So the best we can do is to learn smartly. So one good way is learning roots. Knowing roots, you can guess at the meaning of the word that comes up. We at Mania also have other ways and methods that will help you arrive at the right answer. Another resource that I really like for knowing the meanings of words is Google itself. Google is not only gives you the meaning of the word, it tells you how to pronounce it and even gives you synonyms for the word. But did you know Google also gives you the etymology for the word? Right. I just went into Google to show it to you. Right? So when you type in discordant, the meaning of the word comes up. If you pull the arrow down, you see the etymology for that word. Can you see that? Right. One more question was about word bar made easy. WordPar Made Easy is a time-tested resource. It definitely works. It gives you great methods to remember. Recall is great. Having said all that, it definitely takes time to do. So if you have the luxury of time, use WordPar Made Easy. It works. Any other questions? Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Vasudev. Thank you, KK. Thank you, everyone. The people at Mania Princeton Review are experts at GRE prep, not only vocabulary, but how to score a great score on GRE. We have a number of students who even scored a 340 on a 340. Do get in touch with us. The link is given to you. We are at maniagroup.com on the World Wide Web. We are also on Facebook. Do like us and join us to get any updates on future webinars. Thank you very much for joining us today.